Hello and namaste to all of you. This is Jivin Shalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy from Jyotia Vidyapeeth, Women's University. So for today's topic, I'll be discussing with you about various staining techniques which are involved in chemical examination of urine. So first one is your wet mount method. So now in wet mount method, normal saline, iodine solution, buffered methylene blue solution, and eosin solutions are used. And staining can be done for permanent preparations. So Scottine's fluid and Haynes hematoxylin method and trichome stain can be used for the staining. Now, for microscopic examination of wet mount method, so wet mount method is the simplest and easiest technique for the examination of feces, and this method should be performed in all laboratories at peripheral level. Now, wet mount method can be prepared directly from feces material or from concrete concentrated specimen, and the basic types of a wet mount that should be used for each fecal examination are saline, iodine, and buffered methylene blue. Now, for a saline wet mount, it is used for initial microscopic examination of stools, and it is employed primarily to demonstrate worms, eggs, larvae, protozoan, trophozoites, and cysts. And this type of mount can also reveal the presence of red blood cells and white blood cells. Now, for a second method can be your iodine wet mount. So iodine, it kills organisms basically, so therefore a motility is lost. So it is used to stain nuclei and glycogen mass if present. So flagella, it becomes recognizable. So cyst can usually be specifically identified by this method, and Lugol's iodine solution is used. Now, nextly, what is Lugol's iodine? So firstly, it's very strong and it must be diluted for about 5 times with distilled water. Now, the stain deteriorates quickly, so it needs to be prepared every 2 weeks, and it contains iodine crystals, powdered, about 5 gram of powdered iodine crystals, 10 grams of your potassium iodide, 10 ml of your distilled water. So potassium iodide is dissolved in distilled water and iodine crystals are slowly added. So solution is then filtered and kept in your stoppered bottle of amber color, because it's light sensitive. Now, buffered methylene blue wet mount preparation may it stains trophozoites of amoeba, and it does not stain amoebic cysts or trophozoites and cysts of flagellates. So nucleus and inclusions such as your RBCs or yeast cells, they stain dark blue, and cytoplasm, it stains light blue. Now, in case of your Eosin wet mount, so detection of trophozoites and cysts can be done, and it can be much more easily detected against the pink red background of Eosin preparation. Now, nextly, there are various rapid methods which are used for the examination of stool. So these rapid methods are your saline smear method and your iodine smear methods. So in saline smear method, a huge number of eggs of protozoas and trophozoites and motility can be seen, or amoebas and flagellates. And iodine smear is used, 1% iodine is used, and huge number of cysts and morphological details can be seen through iodine smear method. Now, nextly, direct saline or and iodine methods are there. So with a wax pencil, writes the patient, we write the patient name or a number and the date at the end of the slide, so that your slide is recognizable. If your performing the test for a large number of patients, and a preparation of your fecal specimen is done. So for the preparation, we place a drop of saline in center or left half of the slide, and we place a drop of iodine solution in the center of the right half of the slide. So if the presence of amoebic trophozoite is suspected, warm saline should that is for around 37 degrees should be used. Now for preparation of wet film, so with an applicator or a stick or a match or toothpick, we pick up a small portion of specimen, and for this size of match head, and we mix it with the saline, and we cover it with a cover slip. Now to examine, we put the slide with the mount on microscopic stage, and we focus our microscope at power 10 or low power objective, and then we regulate the light in microscope field and the substage diaphragm, and we should be able to see objects in field distinctly, and too much or too little light is not good. Now for the examination, the entire cover slip area with 10 focus objective focuses the objective on top left hand corner, and it moves the slide systematically and backwards and forwards and up and down. Now for when organisms or suspicious materials are seen, we switch to high dry objective and increase the light by opening the substage diaphragm to observe the detailed morphology. And it is the systematic examination. So if mounts are examined in this way, any parasites present will usually be found. And if mount is not examined systematically, parasites may be missed. And we examine each microscopic field carefully, focusing up down, and before moving to your next field. Now what can be our microscopic examination findings? So for the remnants of food, vegetable cells, our muscle fibers, starch granules, fat globules, connective tissues, and elastic fibers, mineral oils, or castor oil globules can be seen. Now in case of cells, we can find epithelial cells, pus cells, our macrophages, ghost cells, notic bodies, eosinophils, RBCs, crystals, yeast, and molds, are protozoa, helminthic parasites. These can be basically seen. Now, in case of vegetable cells, sometimes it causes these vegetable cells, they basically sometimes can cause confusion with ova, eggs, and cysts and cell bodies, and since they have irregular outer margin. So excess quantities seen in case of excess intake of vegetable, or in case of your indigestion. Now nextly, muscle fibers, they can be confused with your tinea segments. So excess protein intake or indigestion, or in case of excess excretion, is called as creatoria, or also called as flesh flow. Now starch granules, they are variable in size. They can be round to your polygonal in shape. They can be colorless also. So, they can be circular or basically y-shaped dot at the center. So they can be confused with ova of helminths, and they can be found in carbohydrates or dyspepsia, and they are better seen in your iodine preparations. Now nextly, these are your flat globules, so they appear similar to your parasitic cyst or cell bodies, and the emulsifying agents are used to eliminate confusion. So if confused, they can be confused with ova of Helminth's, and they can be found in fat dyspepsia. Now, connective tissue or elastic fibers, they can be confused with your tinea segments, and they signify indigestion. Now, various minerals or castor oil globules, so they can be taken as they must have got been taken as purgatives, and they can be confused with ova of Helminthes. Now, epithelial cells, so the excess present can be due to inflammatory conditions of colon, rectum, and anal canal. Now, pus cells, they are commonly found in a normal stool, and they help to ease the passage of stool. So normally they are not visible to human eye, and if visible, they indicate disease. So bacillary dysentery, acute amoebic dysentery, malignancy of rectum, or drugs induce enterocolitis. These can be the conditions. And now macrophages, these are the large mononuclear cells with vesicular nucleus and ingested materials, including your RBCs. And these can be confused with E. histolytica cyst or E. coli cyst. And excess can be seen in case of your amoebic or bacillary dysentery. Now, nextly, ghost cells. So, degenerative form of macrophages or epithelial cells can be seen. So, it is enlarged or swollen eosinophilic and epithelial cells with eosinophilic cytoplasmic outline, but without a nucleus. So, they show the characteristic of bacillary dysentery. Now, a kind of knotic bodies are there. So nuclear remains of these are the nuclear remains of tissue cells and leukocytes, and they show the characteristic of amoebic dysentery. Now, various cells such as eosinophils, these can be seen in case of intestinal allergy during diluting fluid used which is for examining eosinophils is your Randolph's diluting fluid or pilot's stain. Now, carbon chromotrope technique is used for the detection of eosinophils. So, a measured quantity of deposit is taken, and it is diluted with the diluting fluid in the ratio 1:10 or ratio 1:20, according to the concentration of the residue, and it is counted in heme cytometer, and increased in case of allergic conditions and parasitic infestations and drug allergy, and in case of your ulcerative colitis. Now, further, RBCs, they are seen in case of ulcerative lesions of gut. In your bacillary dysentery, yellowish discrete is seen. In case of amoebic dysentery, greenish color can be seen, and in clumps. So crystals can be seen for fatty acids. Your calcium oxalate crystals can be seen. Your triple phosphate crystals can be seen. Charcot-Leyden crystals can be seen. Hematoidin crystals can be seen, and various crystals for your drugs can also be found upon microscopic examination of urine. So, different crystals have a different kind of characteristics. So I'll tell you about these crystals in your next section. So until then, if you have any doubts, you can consult me. And until then, take care and goodbye.